Many of us get our hands on the K40, and the first thing we do is we start looking at it. How can I control everything? For instance, on mine, I've got switches. Turns on my spotter LED, turns on my cabinet lights, turns on the valve for my air assist. But the biggest thing that I want to show you here today is that with this button, I can turn on my water pump. And with this one here, even though it's unplugged right now, I can control my external air exhaust. Now the whole problem here is the fact that you got 5 volts on the LED. I got 2 for 12 volts here for the light and the valve. And then you jump and you got 120 volts on both of these, 120 volts AC. But the system is DC. So how in the world do you get around controlling AC components off of DC? In my case, what I ended up doing is I went to a relay bank. Now that's kind of ugly looking back here, so I ask you to bear with me. But those switches up front that I was just pushing, get my fingers out of the way, those switches the output from those switches are right here. They come in and they feed the individual relays on this bank. There are 8 of them. They're 12 volt. And I can run just about the world on here. This is the output for my LED, my valve. This goes to my cabinet lights. These two right here are the in and out, because this is a normal relay. You got to normally open, you got to common, you got to normally close. So these are the 2 AC lines going to my fan and my water pump. Now I've got a couple of others in here. Actually, one of these is my laser enable. The other is my laser test fire. The way that you can do AC controlling off of DC relays is by taking a standard AC receptacle, the US style, and breaking out 2 tabs. Now if you look closely, right in here, you can see that I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. There was a factory tab between this one and this one, a bus bar. And it joined, this is the neutral side, and it joined both of these together. On the power side, the same thing exists. Come on, focus in, there you go. There was a bus bar between these 2 screws on the hot side. This is the power side. By breaking these tabs out, what you do is you totally isolate this outlet from this outlet. That means that you can wire them however in the world you want, 120, 240, doesn't make any difference, that's up to you. But you can control each and every one of these because they're separate. You no longer either turn them both on or turn them both off. Now in my particular case, when I got this box, right back here I had those 2 funky little 2-pin outlets. And they're wired and they work. The problem is finding an appliance that doesn't require the ground button, the ground pin. You can make one, but they're difficult to find. So what I did is I found this box. This box is a single gang, as they call it, 1 receptacle. A single gang, shallow. That way I don't have to worry about going deep inside of my box, my K40. What I have done then is I traced an outlet, cut the back of my case so that this box will fit in. It's wired to AC. This AC, the ground and the neutral. This side, the blacks, are fed off of my relay bank. So I've got a hot wire that goes from my incoming power to my relay bank. When the relay is activated, it feeds out 1 on each side and comes back here, and it goes to 1 of the 2 sides in the receptacle. Now I hope that makes sense to you. That is how you can control AC with a DC input. You'd have to either do it with switches, or it'll require a dual contact switch, or you will have to use an intermediary. In my case, I found that it worked best for me to go to this 8-bank of solid state 12-volt relays. That way I don't have to worry about what switch I'm using. I don't have, everything else is isolated. Now this looks pretty nasty because this is a K40 mini. You can see that I lost almost 4 inches here in the mini to the standard case. So everything that I have that would normally go inside is mounted on the back. I have a 12-volt auxiliary power supply. I have a 5-volt auxiliary. This is my 120-volt AC main, my 120-volt neutral and ground, and all of the extra supporting wires and etc. But hope that you like this video. If you did, please hit the like button so that I have an idea whether I'm doing something that you like or don't. If you have any comments, please leave them. Be polite, but please leave them. Otherwise, this is John. Have a great day.